truth, talking change, talking all that's real, with Francis Pierre at the wheel. Politics to faith, the latest trend. We talk it out from end to end. And if you've got something to share, pick up the phone, turn it up. Real FM, ride the frequency.
Welcome, brothers, welcome, sisters, welcome to our program On Target. And as usual, remember the number to call is 442-0175. We are on We Noise FM 94.9 in Brooklyn, New York, Real FM 91.9 and 91.5. We always encourage you to subscribe to our program, like our program, and share the program. Today, we are addressing NDC, and we are encouraging NDC members to call the program. And we are encouraging NDC program members, you politicos, you apologists, to take issue with what we see. We know you take every word that comes from our program. We know you discuss our program. But we also firmly believe that because what we say is the truth, you cannot defend the program. You cannot defend the National Democratic Congress. You must be able to defend your political party. Give justification, reasons, explanation why they do what they do. So when we call Deacon fake, we give reasons why. One gentleman in CC was poor people terrorists, and we agreed with him over a period of time because he advanced sufficient reason. We have credible evidence that he's a terrorist to the poor people. We invite you today, call on the program. Promote NDC if you want. But also take issue with what we say if you have the guts to do it. With Cousin Danley from Ticolo and Cousin Blash, instead of attacking individuals personally and the NDC going out of their way to disadvantage people who criticize them publicly, defend it, justify it, explain it. We have said repeatedly that the Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell should take away the post of Foreign Affairs from Joseph Andal and give it to Deacon Mitchell, because Deacon Mitchell is the de facto Minister of Foreign Affairs, and he's only marginalizing Joseph Andal. He's embarrassing him. The man represents a constituency of proud people. You don't have to domesticate Joseph Andal. He is not the Minister of Foreign Affairs. You calling him Foreign Affairs, and you, Deacon Mitchell, is the de facto Minister of Foreign Affairs. We call on the Prime Minister of Grenada, and we believe that Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell is the corruptor-in-chief. And we advance reasons why we say that. If you disagree with us, then bring reasons. And if your reasons are credible, we will change our opinion. When we look at the manner in which ministers of the government and directors are getting money illegally from the Grenada Development Bank, well, that cannot be right. So NDC members, if you believe nothing is wrong with that, Call us and tell us. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good day.
Yes, my brother, welcome.
Well, I tried yesterday, but I didn't get it. But don't worry because the program was very interesting. I get a lot of food. So you have days I have to relax and listen to. But I call and make a point, Mr. Pierre, and it is correct that certain people was paid to see if they could attack you.
But I doesn't really bother with that, you know. Because if you have a political party, and that political party is facing a situation where they're in trouble, they may want callers to call to defend them. So I don't really bother with whether they were paid or not paid. The fact is we speak the truth and we encourage people to exchange ideas. It takes a lot for a caller to be calling radio station every day. It takes a lot. And if the individuals who are calling are not working and they're seeking the interests of the party and the party could help them, why not? I don't have objection to that.
Because I told one of them, I said, why is Mr. Pierre all you want to attack?
But
Attack Andrea and
but you know, but caller, in all
they told me no.
Caller, in all fairness, you hear me encouraging them to take me on. I encourage people to take me on. When I come, I decide to speak the truth. And I want the NDC to change. I want them to change. We cannot foul up this country. So if the Prime Minister, as a result of listening my program, change his attitude, I will be happy. I don't want to see Grenada go down the road of between 2008 2013.
Yeah, Mr. B. Before I close, I want to say the Build Back Better Housing is a total failure. And I have reasons for saying that. Because I know of supporters who never had a house were destroyed in burial. And they get a brand new house. And some people is still calling and say the house was damaged in burial and they're still waiting. This is I don't know how to call it. I could call the areas where some of the people don't get touched yet. And I know 3 houses was built for supporters who never had a house. And it built completely. This is, I don't know how to call it, Mr. Pierre.
Well, in all fairness, you heard Deacon say that is NDC helping. I mean, you shouldn't be surprised. It's sad and it's unfortunate, but that is the policy of NDC. They help the real NDC. They even claim that some people they're helping is not the real NDC. And Black Wizard say inside NDC is NNP. So they don't even want to help somebody NNP who crossed the floor and voted for them. That is a disease. I describe NDC as an infectious disease that gets worse every time.
Yes. And we have a Prime Minister who failed in both ministry. They have to show you incapability because he failed in finance, he failed in infrastructure. Well, I believe he would have failed. I don't think he would fail in foreign affairs, but I don't know why he did not accept that ministry. Because he's a failure, a total failure, an embarrassment to Grenada. Someone described last night, we have a fruity Prime Minister, we have a Prime Minister what could dress. We don't need that. A Prime Minister dressing nice don't mean anything to Grenada. And the people of Carriacou is still, some of them still under 10. Some people cannot face up with the bill in the grocery. And you're talking about a prime minister dressing like Grenadians are begging you. The time is coming. We need to put someone, which I know we have someone, what is capable, what is care about us. This government don't like people. They only care about themselves and money. They don't like Grenadians. They have no respect for Grenadians, and we have no other choice but to change this administration. I rest my case.
Based upon the utterances of the prime ministers and other members who are in the government, by today, NDC should have built 10,500 houses in Grenada. They claimed there were going to be 500 houses per parish. 500 Grenadian-style house per parish. So after 3 years, they should have built 10,500 houses. In addition to that, the destruction by burial was more in Carriacou and St. Patrick's than any other part in Grenada. They received $118 million from the insurance. So money is not the problem. Yes, and I invite NDC heavyweights, your apologists, those of you, your politicos, call the program. Today, call me and defend or rebut what I see. Very early, we call the Prime Minister, the NDC, a vulture party. A vulture is like a gigi. It is in its natural nature to go after the weak and carrion. The NDC historically has lived up to that expectation. In 1990, the NDC went after the lower echelons of workers. Workers in the estate, workers in the propagator, in government stations, and they got rid of them because of the economy. They say there is downturn in the economy. They had the debt service levy, and they got rid of a number of people in that area. Lord Toll was fired in that area. I remember Digale employed him, and he had a song in tribute to Digale, Mr. Digale Workers. In 2008-2013, immediately on assuming office, the NDC removed people from the seed program. And you would have heard me say umpteen time that 5 women from Paraclete was removed. One of them, only one is alive today. 2 is alive. One of them is a centurion. She has 102 years. The NDC removed her from the seed program. She only laughed. She said, leave them to God. She poured like church mice. She said, leave them to God. So the NDC always go after the poorest people in the country. While they're doing that, they gave a tax break to taxpayers. Those who defaulted on tax, the NDC gave them a tax break during the period of 1990 and again during the period of 2008 to 2013. That's why we call them vultures and poor people terrorists. The 100-house unit in Carriacou in particular, the keys was given to people. They took back the keys from the people. And irrespective of the fact that Carriacou was faced with burial, the worst hurricane ever to hit Carrico. The houses are there. Deacon is preserving these houses as far as we could gather for people in the diaspora and some of his NDC friends. He's unconscionable. And that is the reason we call him poor people terrorist. We call him a master deceiver. This man promised to make workers permanent. They said there is no need for a parallel public service. We would make workers permanent. They claim with the stroke of a pen. They claim it was a criminal act not to. And when he won election, he said they lie. He never said that. But further, he went to the United Nations and championed the cause of the Haitian. And immediately, 15 Haitians was prevented from landing in Grenada. Some of the small Haitian communities in Grenada, some people in the construction industry started to take advantage on them. When we heard that, we started to speak on the issue. And some of them indicate to us, they thank us. They say those contractors pay them. So we are convinced that Deacon is a master deceiver. We are concerned with the gravity, the impact, and the amount of lies that Prime Minister tells. We said that he is lying more than all other prime ministers since 1967. No man is perfect. No man is perfect. And politicians just excite the truth or sex up the truth as a means to motivate their followers. But this is cold, unadulterated, blatant lies. And this Prime Minister is telling more lies than all other leaders together. He's lying like when horse-trotting. And we call on the NDC members. Cultureman, we know you claim that we must talk about agriculture. Yes, we have encouraged people to consume more agriculture products that they grow. Forbes Bonham in Guyana was a big champion of that. In the 70s and 80s, eat what you grow and grow what you eat. A mantra of the Forbes Bonham era. No one in the Caribbean supported him then. He banned carrots. He banned cheese. He said you have enough milk in Guyana. Make your own cheese. He banned carrots. People start to eat wrapped pumpkin. All in the Pegasus Hotel, wrapped pumpkin was served. Carambola, 5 finger. People started to use it to make currants and raisins. Guyana was winning the prize for the best black cake in the world. And cassava flour was mixed with wheat flour. So the idea about grow what you eat and eat what you grow have been with us quite a long time. And the biggest champion of it was Forbes Bonham. So yes, Cultureman, we encourage people constantly that. Listen to the program on Real FM, the farmers program that had been going on maybe for 15 years on Real FM. Over 3 hours, over 2 hours, an agricultural program. With BJ, a master farmer in Grenada context. And on Studio Galaxy, we have a program every Saturday from about 10 to 11 on agriculture. Cultureman, listen to this program. But I invite you to call now Because the direction that this government is going, they're going to bring the country into free fall. And we will have to undertake a next structural adjustment program. And all of us will be affected. What is unfortunate and sad is some of the individuals who used to be walking around promoting good governance, accountability, and transparency. Right now, all of them shut them out. We don't know if they're getting money for good behavior, good relationship, because the Prime Minister said he paid the money for good relationship. We have heard that the very Prime Minister and other ministers receive expensive gifts that has not been retired to the Integrity Commission. Now, if the Prime Minister of the country is accepting gifts from multinational corporations, big companies, and he's not telling anybody anything about it, one have to assume that those gifts are given for bribery purpose. One have to assume that. We spoke over the last 3 years, warning and nudging the Prime Minister of Grenada that what he was doing was conflict of interest, and it was wrong. Because we have heard that the Prime Minister and several members of the hierarchy of the NDC, including Nazim Bok, are selling passport on the international market. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yes, Mr. Pierre, good day.
Yes, my brother.
Yeah. See that the past, they see that we need to get some cocoa plants. And up to today, I prepare ground, I get them stick to mark out everything. Because the external officer say, the Grenville, they had some, they're looking for some for the missing a few, so if they find any on the western side. So the person select me for that, because I say I am a genuine farmer, farmer. So they select me for plants. I prepare plants, I'm waiting, up to now, I think waiting. When I saw the guy there, I say, well, I don't hear nothing. He said, but that thing look as pop shooting. I said, well, for so long I've been waiting for the plants. I tell him I will get the plants, and up to today I never get the plants. He said, well, you don't know, but I said, well, he said, he tell me the plants are young. He said, the plants are small still. But I said, well, I see people pass it plants, opening planting season. Then he said, but I find that thing look as young. Up to today I see, but I never get no answer, nothing again. I don't know where this papi shooting come from. Honestly, I don't know where this papi shooting come from. You guys would say you promised. I didn't ask them for nothing. The guys say they say missing a crew farmers. Guys same thing I say about the manual. I don't say about that thing like your program.
You didn't get manual. You didn't get manual
about this thing. I don't know nothing about it. I hear you mention that and about you when you go, but I never hear nobody talk about this thing. Only when they have meeting and things, they don't know me. No man know me. When they distribute anything, they don't bother. Certain states, so certain people they still looking to do that.
You didn't get any manual.
No, I tell you, I never hear nobody talk about this thing more than you are talk about that.
What's about the hurricane money?
But I tell you, they don't mention that to nobody.
They have a list. They have a list.
They have a list of people they have. They send me now say they missing a shoe, so you go get that two farmers on the western side. So that I realize it's a whole more thing. Certain people they giving this thing. So take care, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, the Cocoa Association and the Nutmeg Association. I told you loud and clear, they are agents of the National Democratic Congress. Both associations are agents. The directors are more agents of the NDC. So there are some farmers who would not benefit. Whether it's the hurricane program or the manual or cocoa plants or spice, your name have to be on the yellow list. And if your name not on the yellow list, you would not benefit. So, caller, you should not be surprised. and you should not bother. Because normally, quite a lot of people are benefiting. They are not serious farmers. They are more militants of the NDC. Yesterday, I spoke about the Public Workers Union. I've written a letter to the President of the Public Workers Union. And they have themselves in a bind, because I'm asking them for the names of the people who they're receiving the money and throw them out of the insurance company. Now, if they don't give me the list, it means it's me alone. So, and I don't believe it's me alone. So they would have to give me the list of the names so I could go and find the people for them. Because if you collected money on behalf of people to pay the premium to the insurance company, and you did not pay the premium, that means you have the people money. So you throw the people out of the insurance while you're collecting the money. You see, sometimes I want people to understand what's going on in Grenada. During 1951, they blamed Gary when sky was red. They used to take advantage on the people. And Gary come representing the people's interests. It wasn't the intelligentsia that represented them, you know. It wasn't Mary Shaw. It was Eric Gary. They said just a little black boy from the country. They took advantage on people. They tricked people. They believed they were in a superior class. So when they arrested Gary, the people rose up. The sky became red. The British sent down 2 battleships in Grenada to help to change the color of the sky. What we have in Grenada now is Deacon, an individual who is propagating a class system back again. That is why they call people classless and commoners and beggy and culturally literate. And that is why I'm calling on NDC apologists, the NDC defenders. Call us and tell us which class you're in. Culture man, call. Tell me which class you're in. Are you in the privilegencia class? Are you a member of the proletariat? Are you a part of the petty bourgeoisie? Or tell us, are you a proprietor? Because the Deacon said the only reason NNP getting assistance is because we don't know who the real NDC is. Do you agree with that? Pick up the telephone and call us. I await your call. If you are apologists of the NDC, do you agree with this thing? Danley from Ticolor, Cousin Blash, do you agree? What the NDC has been doing over the years is to bully people who speak. A lot of people can't speak out. They lose their job. A lot of people can't speak out. They're threatening them by suing them. They can't speak out. And when you come on a radio station to speak spontaneous as we do, sometimes you make mistakes because they tape every word that you say, trying to catch you. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr.
Yes, my brother, welcome.
And good afternoon to Grenada. Mr. Pierre, the statement you're making there is a very dangerous statement. I am really hoping that is not the truth, because that's a very serious statement in a small island where everybody is more or less cousin. related. If we go down that road, we are going down a very slippery road to be looking to give NMP and NDC favors in front of NMP or vice versa. That's a dangerous thing. Dangerous thing. And I'm really hoping that is not the truth, because it is going to mash up our small island worse than what is happening. That is seriousness. I accept that a lot of people that the money was not distributed fairly. The money that was given for agriculture, because I remember what you said, and I have heard of over 200 persons have not received. And I think it is time for that to be investigated. The farmers will fall under the Ministry of, under the Cocoa Association or Nutmeg Association, and then you have the rest of the farmers would be just gardeners or whatnot. So it is easy to find those information. Everybody at the register of farmer must be registered under some, whether one of the two organizations or the Ministry of Agriculture. So I think the government, the people have a right to go into the depth of that, because that could be dangerous. On the other hand, I realize that the government have made a move to assist bus drivers with a stipend sort of way, where they rebate, they're paying them back for the gas that they burn. I think it's a step in the right direction, because for the longest time, bus drivers have not get an increase. But they have a next dangerous piece there that I'm looking at, and I'm hoping that the government or the police or some authority, I think they have authority now, could pick up on that. When you go on a bus at times, and you take a bus from Guav to Sotel, the bus make all kind of inroads, right, and looking for people. And if you ask the bus driver to go there in road, he tell you how to pay an extra $5. So that cannot be. That's seriousness. We have to be very careful with that. So I hope, while I accept and agree with the bus drivers getting an increase, a rebate to pay for the gas, this thing must be properly handled. Otherwise we're going to find ourselves in a chaos. They said that the money have to be paid, or you heard it quite other week, go through the bus driver who is responsible for the route that you're running. I am not too satisfied that the bus driver should be responsible for the route. I think some other structure should be put in place. And if it's done, this other structure is not put in place, we could end up in a callaloo soup again too. So while it is good, I think it needs to be looked at.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Well, if you want to, and you, as you say, you hope it is not true, one of the people to the NDC call us and tell us it's not true, that some of the people that did not get assistance was not as a direct result of the NDC policy. Deacon said publicly, we have blasted that mercilessly over the last 3 years. And we saw some changes. We saw some people making an attempt to help some of those NNP that wanted a job. Then Deacon went back on stage and said the only reason NNP getting help is because we don't know who the real NDC is. And then they changed back again. They used to say, let them starve. You forget that? Let them pound stone in the river. You heard Shirley and Robinson cry and others. So I said, call me today. Take issue with what I say. If you could bring in credible evidence or convincing evidence, I will change my opinion. We beg those in authority, those who have clout on Deacon. We say, if senior members of the NDC party is selling passport in the CBI program, you're going to have problems. Because there'll be no one to do the check and balances. Today you have problem in the CBI program. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, my brother.
I call in again. You see, I want to stick there. What is the purpose of the judiciary with all them things going on there?
Well, normally you have to bring case to the judiciary. The judiciary don't go and take cases. So cases have to be brought to the judiciary. The structure is made up so that is the police and the director of public prosecution that have to take these cases. You may have the integrity commission, but you know that commission is contaminated by the government. So it leaves the opposition to ask questions in parliament. They're not answering those questions. I would have agreed for the opposition to move a motion and no confidence in the government for the sake of corruption. But obviously, the government may well win. But at least he will provide an opportunity for the opposition to discuss the issues.
All right. Well, I'm going to a meeting this evening with the opposition. And I tell them already to ask the question. I will remind them. And then, if nothing, integrity in public life and the integrity commission will have to answer to us. Because, I don't know, people are probably afraid to be seen.
Well, people have to be cautious. Remember, look at the real FM in the north. Because we have a small country and radio stations depends a lot on the advertisement they get. So if the programs that are being advertised on Real FM, you cut it out, and NDC businessmen decide we're cutting out the advertisement from you, then the radio station have to function almost in a skeleton manner. A lot of the programs they have to do will be cut short because they don't have funding. That's why we don't have much radio stations in Grenada. Because what is happening now, the government has cut out the funding for strangulation purposes. But some of the businessmen who normally used to advertise, they decide, no, me as a NDC, I won't advertise on the program, on the radio station again. Because you have too much of people on the radio station carrying on. So it's a challenge. Sometimes people ask why more people ain't talking. Because people is a bread and butter issue. You lose your job, your children, you lose a scholarship. You see, this government is evil. Yeah,
well, you see, Anna, we have to try something else.
Yes, we have to continue.
Yes, we have to try
something. That's why I encourage people in St. Andrews and Patrick's in the rural area to advertise with Real FM. Sometimes we have a program and maybe 500-600 people might be looking at the program. But just to give you a like, they don't give you a like. Even NNP members don't share our program. They don't like our program. They don't subscribe to Real FM. I'm aware of the fact that some of them don't know how to do. But the party should be encouraging the members to subscribe to the program, because that also could help the program because we are on YouTube.
Right. Then again, you talk about the 100 houses in Karakou.
Yeah.
Listen, man. We have to get a Delma, you know. Because I tell you, that is being recorded. She lied, proclaiming to be a Christian. Lie. Come with a green dress, a green frock, you know, and give go ahead, give letters for people to go to claim house, to go to Nawasa and Grenek, so that they could get the house.
The electricity
and she lied and say she didn't do that. She didn't know about that. Watch me. You see what is happening in Haiti, where they put them in the middle of the square and put tires around them and just light them? If people in Grenada are afraid, I am going to show them how.
General, Color, generally, what is unfortunate and sad, and that's why we speak about it so much, you could push people, and you could push people until you have decadence in the society. And that's why we speak so much, hoping that we don't have to go down there.
That it will change.
Yes. And we believe they could change. For instance, today, I dare in those NDC that would attack me personally on Facebook and all about and say, yes, don't give him money, don't give him. I dare them to call me on radio. Because when you speak the truth, but you have to able to prepare to do it. I could stand without their financial assistance. I'm not affected by it. And I believe, I have always said to my children in school, you must use the opportunity to get a good education. This is a battleground.
Yeah.
Men behind you will be shooting at you. This is a battleground. So I decide mentally that my children in school must be prepared. And the best way you could be prepared is to get the best education possible. Yes,
all right.
Thank you.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. But that's one of the strategy of NDC. They tape everything you see. They pass it to the filter house to see if they get an opportunity to sue you. Now, I am financially embarrassed. I suffer from monetary instability. And I don't have the machinery to do much investigation. So I don't interfere with breaking news. That's why I don't interfere with breaking news. I speak about policies and the utterances of the politician if I believe that is part of the policy. Because I'm not able to investigate. I don't have a machinery in place to investigate breaking news. So when I went to the medical doctor, I realized that the Public Workers Union threw me out. But I don't know if Deacon's yellow list reach in the hands of the president. But I'll know. Because they will have to provide me with the names of the people who they're collecting money from, but they throw them out of the medical health plan. I'm absolutely certain it's not me alone. But I have enough of patience. I've written to them. If they don't respond, then I'll write again and register the letter. And if they don't respond, then I'll write again and have a bailiff hand deliver the letter to them. And if they don't respond, I will write to the Grenada Trade Union Council. And if they don't respond, I'll write to CPSA, the Caribbean Public Service Association. And time is on my side. I'm sitting in the departure lounge and I have time. So today I invite members of the NDC. Culture man, pick up the telephone. Are you comfortable? Are you comfortable with the NDC party calling you classless? Yes, caller, welcome.
Hello.
Yes, go right ahead, caller.
Mr. Pierre, you remember Deacon with the full mouth call MLN and them mother hen and alcohol chicken and all them about stupid?
Yeah.
Well, I want you to talk about that, please. Eh?
Yes, I will.
And I like how you're coming back with all them program and them this.
Yes.
It's very good for we understand what's going on because you remember Andy say it only and they go forget.
Yeah, they're hoping we're gonna forget.
Yeah, but we don't forget it.
No, because I don't interfere in breaking news. I like all news.
Deacon mouth just like full mouth. He and Andy and them fellas and them. Well, Deacon go get it in the ass just now, you know. He time coming shots. Take care.
Well, we always pray for good for him. You see, when Deacon Mitchell in the House of Parliament refer to the opposition leader as mother hen, it wasn't any creativity in Deacon's point. Maurice Bishop had very little respect for Eugenia Charles of Dominica, and he used to call her mother hen. And Tom Adams, he called him yard fowl. So that is where Deacon come out with that. You see, Maurice Bishop was related to the Laguenats. And the Grants was related to Bishop. And the Grants had serious influence on Deacon Mitchell. And the Grants and the Joseph made room when Deacon come out in university as a lawyer and had him in their law firm. Two powerful surnames in Grenada. They were not doing criminal law. They were doing corporate law. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yes, Mr. Pierre, call.
Yes, my brother.
Mr. Pierre, there's some serious statements and things that is saying there. And you have a serious point that you should go through with. For instance, your money has been deducted by the union. You pay union dues and your money has been deducted. And if you call a right to the union authorities and they have not answer you, that's a serious offense. The union have the right to give you a data with how your money was collected and what was done with your money.
But I have a lot of patience with that on our own. That ain't going away.
But you see, that patience would run out itself.
No, not with me. Not with me, caller. If it, I need the names of the, and if it's necessary for me to take a mic and go around in the village and call for them. If they don't know me, they have to go and ask Pac. There was a teacher called Pac and Alice Miller, because we did it before. So these group are maybe young, yes, and they don't understand.
Let us hope that you get it done, because
no, we will. I will find out.
Let's look at it. We have the present Prime Minister who accept and support what is alleged, and I'm using the word alleged, what is alleged to be done by ministers. What is alleged, nothing is done about it. Nothing is done about it.
Deacon is the corrupter in chief.
Yes, but the point I'm making is, if it's alleged and nothing done about it, Dr. Mitchell just lost a case. We have to find over $100,000 to pay for something that he said.
Yes, that is one of the things you have to understand.
So yes, what is good for the right foot must good for the left foot.
And that is one of the things that you have to understand. When in our democracy we have freedom, but still we have to be careful what we say.
Exactly.
Because powerful people, they use suing as a means to shut you. So people could say, if they could sue Kit Mitchell, they could sue Jenny. Me say one word. You remember Maurice Bishop say, if you say they say locking up, you remember that one?
No, I can't remember.
Well, okay.
I'm not doubting, but I can't remember.
Well, let me tell you, Maurice Bishop say, if you say they say he locking up, heavy manners for day.
I know you talk about putting people in the dark, but I can't remember.
So people, that is one of the reasons a lot of people was so afraid to open their mouth in the revolution. And Maurice Bishop jailed 3,000 people, including Tillman Thomas.
Yes.
And he castrated Boko and executed Clotilda.
But if we continue to let these things and the important authorities cannot come to, to explain and to put
we have to continue.
Something is serious going to happen in this
country. Have to stick with it. We have to continue.
Because Jenny is at her own. The statement she make is her own statement.
Yeah, we have to continue.
Right, her own statement. If she wins, a lot of us will be clapping hands. If she lose, how much will help her?
Well, some will still help her.
She stand on her own.
Yes, and
but what she's doing is a beneficiary to a lot of people.
Uriah Buzz Butler stand on his own. Eric Gary stand on his own. A number of people in the world that caused the changes in the world. Some of them died in prison.
Yes.
So that is
because Mr. Deacon have said to the nation that corruption is a sin.
Well, you Deacon don't have to tell us corruption is a sin. So
then if corruption is a sin, Mr. Deacon should be willing to let us eliminate most of the sins.
But you're getting naive. You're doing this all long now. Deacon, we accuse Deacon for accepting gifts in the excess of 30,000. He hiding it, he don't say nothing. You expect Deacon sneak in Nigeria, the governor of Lagos State chastise him. All this wrong thing, Deacon doing the Deacon lie, that's when horse trotting. You go believe what Deacon say?
Hey,
Yes,
I hope
you.
that we could get a closure to those things.
Thank you.
Good.
We have to continue educating our people. You people closest to you. You cannot afraid discussion. You have to listen to members of the NDC too. You have to listen to them. And you have to rebut. And you have to ask them questions. But you have to grant them your time to listen to them. You have to brighten the corner where you are. One of the ways you could support our program is subscribing to Real FM, subscribing to Studio Galaxy, liking our program and sharing it on your Facebook page. That is what is needed. Much is not required from you. We have to prepare to support Jenny Simon. What Jenny Simon is doing is noble. But in the process of it, mistakes could be made. Because they would go after you on a point of technicality. Yes, scholar, welcome. Caller, I'm not hearing you. Either you're listening to the radio or something.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, good afternoon. Yeah.
Mr. Pierre, I just want to say something as it relates to the Jenny Simon issue.
Go right ahead.
And I think some of us as Grenadians, we too, and I'll say it again, too hypocrite. Now, Jenny Simon has been doing her program. She's coming out with information. And oh, yes, we're glad, we're happy with what Jenny is saying. We're glad, we're happy with what Jenny is saying. Now we're hearing now, we don't know how true it is, we're hearing now that somebody will be taking action against Jenny for what she does say. And what you find, we're playing a type of crayfish. What I know when I was growing up, we used to hold in the river, we used to call it red tail. We backing back.
Yeah, red tail like to back.
We backing back now.
Cockadola's back.
Yes, we backing back now. So if Jenny wins, it is all of us. But if she lose, it would be she alone. But I would be one standing with her whether we win or lost. Whether she win or she lose, I will stand with her. We too hypocrite. We listen to her program, Mr. Pierre, and we glad with the information she put in on. It reached to a stage now that we're separating. We're separating now. We're separating. We too hypocrite, and it's time we stop that.
Yes, Color. Yeah.
What Jenny is doing is not for herself. She's doing it for Grenadians.
Yeah, Color.
Most of the things that we're hearing, if it hadn't been for Jenny, we would not have known. It's time we stop this kind of nonsense.
All right, thank you, Color.
Come on, man.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Pierre.
We have to understand that is what the democratic system is about. That is why slavery took so long. That is why it does have corruption in a country that going for a long time. Because how this system is, you, the ordinary man, might hear something, but you have to be very careful what you say. You may lose your job. Your children may lose their scholarship. These teams protect the tough. And even when you say it publicly, they could take you to court knowing they're going to lose. But by the time you pay the lawyer, you're broken and you're bankrupt. So nothing is wrong in people speaking and get sued. And sometimes they lose the case. Most of this is what changed the world. This is what changed things in the country. We have a number of our intellectuals. They would shut them out. They would be as silent now. They may be concerned about the level of corruption in the country, but they say, I don't have no money to pay no lawyer. And I have my child in school. And my relatives working. And the NDC is a very vindictive government. The NDC I describe as an infectious disease. They go after your relatives. They go after your finances. Don't surprise in some instances, the Ministry of Health. If you remember about a year and a half ago, I was here speaking about the health inspector in St. Andrews and calling on the permanent secretary in health not to be like the rogue permanent secretary in Carriacou. Because I was convinced that the health inspector in St. Andrews was playing politics. Based upon what she did when the health inspector visit place and her utterances and statement, I said, this health inspector playing politics? But you don't expect other people to say that? Sometimes the police, if you speak about the police, they stop you 9 times for driving without due care and attention, without seatbelt. The police say, I catch him without seatbelt and he running him out on me on the radio. Bam! So this is why corruption runs so much in a society. And when it overwhelms everybody, you speak. It's like in a village. Issues happen in the village, but you're afraid the guy is going to stone your house. They threaten you, so you hush your mouth. And it festers. And then you come like Jamaica or Trinidad. Most times, you have violence, chronic violence in a community. It did not happen overnight. It was there, it festered. And people tolerated because they was afraid to take the risk. The level of corruption that's going on in this country, the only reason it's going on is because we have a number of individuals that tolerating the corruption. Senior public officers, lawyers, doctors, some of the individuals that used to talk about accountability, transparency, and good governance, they have lost their tongue. I think my sister Sandra may be sick or incapacitated and cannot speak. But you always have people that are foolish enough to speak irrespective of the risk. Uriah Buzz Butler spent 8 years in prison. Eric Gary had to face the British battleship. John Compton was prevented from drinking water in a pipe in Dennery. And a number of other individuals who was in the forefront of change suffered immensely. So nothing is wrong if Jenny Simon functioned. When Jenny Simon's house was mauled with drones, no one, that was an attempt. The NDC is like an infectious disease. Every time they come in power, they make this country worse. And my greatest fear is they will bring this economy into free fall again. Thank you for listening to us. Remember to share our program, and we're back with you again next week on the and wait for when the clock struck 12. Thank you very much.
The talk we keep it live, yeah. Real FM, ride the frequency. Talking truth, talk